Welcome to the Journey to Happy podcast, where you get concrete tools for mindset work, my best tips for lowering your anxiety. And you also hear funny and encouraging stories from me and others who have stories to share. Around here, you'll discover the easy way to stop overthinking, to get rid of self doubt, and finally embrace a calmer, more confident you. I am Olga, your host, a former therapist, a life coach, wife, blissfully an IVF mother, and a coffee lover. I'm excited that you tune in today, and I'm honored to be on the journey with you. Hello and welcome to the Journey to Happy podcast. I'm Olga, your host, and I am excited to meet you yet again here on a Monday, changing Monday's attitude. That's what I'm all about. If you're new to here, welcome. I'm happy we found each other. And if you are an old-timer, hello again. I'm excited to see you. Well, and by seeing you, really, I'm speaking and looking at myself in the camera. I'm not seeing you, but I imagine you. Last time I checked my podcast stats, we were at 46,000 downloads, which is pretty amazing. And for a podcast that has zero advertisement. And I've noticed that there is people listening all the way in Egypt, in Ghana, Kenya. Where else did I see that was so cool? Australia, New Zealand, Italy. We've got Spain. The majority of the listeners are in the States and in Canada. I am located in Canada, but I am Colombian. And so that's kind of very fun to see how a Colombian girl who lives in Canada can share free content that is going across the globe, literally. Before I get started in today's podcast subject, which is what happens when we finally leave all excuses behind and actually focus on ourselves, on our needs, when we walk away from that mentality that taking care of ourselves is a selfish thing and it's a not caring thing. I'm going to dive into that because I've had so many great conversations recently with beautiful people that I want to share my insight on that. But first, I want to let you know about two very exciting things that are happening inside Olga's Way. As you may know, I am fully booked for this year, the remaining of the year. It will be odd if you could find a spot for a one-on-one, and all my groups are full. But my best-selling coaching group and most robust coaching group with the highest touching point to me and access to me is called Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life. You probably have heard of this program before. I often refer to my coaching clients from that group because that's where I personally hang out the most. From all of my coaching clients, those ladies get the most out of my time. And the new group is starting in January of 2022. It is a 12-month program. It is an incredible program. No more than 12 women in the group as of right now, primarily because you get 2 calls as a group, plus you get a private one-on-one with me. So I love getting to connect with each of you at a deep level. Like my clients in those groups right now, their children know who I am. I know their children's names. Their husbands know me, at least through their wives. And so it's very intimate and connected. I really do love connecting and getting to know each of these clients. Even though we're in a group setting, I take the time to know each of them and know them very well so that I can coach them at all times and for them to feel that they are the only person I'm coaching. The ladies that are in the groups right now have become pretty much sisters. They communicate on a regular basis. They're cheering themselves on. They have created outside of coaching friendships, and I can see what's happening to them. They're blooming, and it's just so much fun. So I cannot wait to see who is going to join us for 2022. for the sounds of it, many of the ladies who are currently in the program are already asking me to save them a spot. And so that, that's going to be fun because there is going to be newies and there is going to be some who are coming a second time. That's how much they liked it. So that's opening up in the fall. The easiest way to get notified once I open, because I do have limited spots, is by getting yourself in the waiting list. So once you go into my website, if you go under the tab of Work With Me, you're going to see CEO. And in there, you can read all about the program. I've made so many tweaks to it this year. I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. And I am just bringing the volume up by a bit next year so that we just experience so much fun transformation and success within that group. So I highly suggest you going to my website, sign up for the waiting list. All that will do is get you the first email I send out to the people in the waiting list once the doors are open for you to apply. And then if you apply, I will book a call with you to chat it over and make sure that you're a good fit for the program. Being such a small program, I'm very picky that the personalities are aligned so that there can be a cohesive feeling and a safe feeling in the group. So that's one thing. The other super exciting thing that I am sharing with you guys, because it's coming up now, it's going to be going out in my emails and it's going to be going out in my social media campaigns, is that I have made a change to reset your mindset. So if you recall, Reset Your Mindset, it was a membership program that I've been running for a year and a half, where people could join us for 3 months, come watch videos and join the calls whenever they felt like coming to a Q&A call with me through Zoom. I've done so much keeping of data, and I've been analyzing how well the people in the program did. And some did amazing, and some just signed up and just like going to the gym, showed up sometimes, didn't show up many. We're not really we're loving the videos, but not really engaging, not really integrating. And so I collected all this data and decided to make a big change to reset your mindset. I am keeping the name Reset Your Mindset, but I am changing the inside of the program for the purpose of improving how the service is delivered and hopefully helping people achieve better success. So what this program is, and stay open and tuned because this might be all you need in your life right now, it's a new program where I will be coaching you on a weekly basis for 12 weeks. So it's my shortest coaching program, also my least expensive coaching program, but is intense. I am here to bring you progress. If you're in for change, if you're in to not have a moment to triple think about it, about your progress, about your goals, this program is for you. So throughout the 12 weeks, how does it work? Is that on Mondays, you get access to a video, mindset video. And on Fridays, you get a call with me as a group. Okay, so we're going to be 16 women. There is only 13 spots left. And we are going to be meeting every Friday to talk about the subject that the video was on Monday. So the videos are short and sweet. And then our calls are an hour up to 75 minutes on Fridays. I will just be coaching you and being accountable. So everybody, once they join the group, they have to select one goal that they absolutely want to master at the end of the 12 weeks. And my job is to keep you accountable, to teach you the mindset tools so that you can shift that mind around and to get you to your goal. So imagine finishing this year super freaking proud of yourself because you've accomplished that thing that you've been postponing. This is your chance. The total cost of the 3 months is $1,200. That's insanely low cost for a weekly coaching call with me and weekly videos on mindset. You also get access to a private Facebook group where you can ask questions throughout, where you can connect to the other ladies in the group. And the subjects that we will be covering in depth are limiting beliefs, the perfectionist mindset, learning to set clear and strong boundaries, getting to be comfortable with that notion of saying no, landing into a space of comfort for being authentically who you are. Saying goodbye to anxiety, self-sabotage. Anyways, the list goes on. There's 12 weeks of me, mindset, and fun. That's all you need to know. You can pay full the $1,200, or you can choose to break it down into 3 payments of $400. You also need to apply because, again, like all my groups, I want to be very mindful of the energies and the souls that are joining, that we're all sort of in the same level field. And so for that, you've got to book a call with me, and you can do that ASAP. The link is on the show notes. There's more information in the show notes as well, and you will be able to do that as well from my website if you want to. And sign up, make a call, book a call, and let's get talking. All right. After all of that talking, sorry, I'm just so excited about it. I don't want my listeners to miss out on it, because sometimes I feel I do a great job with my newsletter, which, by the way, link is also on the notes here, show notes, if you want to sign up for my newsletter. Every Monday, I send you some pretty awesome mindset tips. And so, yeah, just make sure that I just wanted to make sure that I was sharing that information with you guys so that you wouldn't feel that information was not provided to you. All right, moving on to what we're here for. When we leave excuses behind. Oh my God. Over the last 2 months, I think I've celebrated the most amount of success with my coaching clients, because we've been focusing on, 1, noticing our excuses, and 2, moving past them. And then celebrating what it's like to actually do the thing that you're going to say you're going to do versus hiding behind the excuses. And I want to start by sharing with you something that popped into my head. I was going for a walk with my son, and this thought just entered my mind. I'm like, oh my God, I have to share this with my audience, because that was me as well. My mom has a saying that is, since excuses were invented, everybody uses them. And it's true. We all have an excuse to whatever, and we use them often. And sometimes we don't realize that what we're doing is using an excuse. We hide behind them, thinking fully that they are a legitimate reason to not do the thing that is good for us. What I've come to understand now is that women specifically, and the men who are listening, maybe this is you too, but I can for sure say this about all of my female clients and myself. And I can say that, for example, I don't see the same intensity in my husband or my brothers or my dad or the men in my life. I just don't see that they have this issue. I feel that as women, the biggest excuse we have come up with to invest time, energy, money, freedom, fun, just to invest in ourselves, has been that it is selfish. That it is selfish to do so. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've heard moms, for example, say to me, oh, I love your yoga pants, but I couldn't excuse myself from spending that kind of money on me instead of my children. That's just one example. I couldn't imagine going, I don't know, on a weekday with my friends and leaving my husband to do all the work. That should always be 50-50. Like, I can't imagine doing that. I realized that we are all full of excuses. As I was doing this work, I was telling you, I went for a walk with my son, and this memory entered my mind because I just recently joined a local gym, to not the gym per se, but a personal trainer. So for Mother's Day, my husband got me personal training sessions, and I just started this week. And it brought me back to one of the first times I hired a personal trainer. Not the first, but one of the first times. Or I was considering hiring a personal trainer. I was training for a half marathon, and I kind of came to the conclusion that I needed to be in better shape, more muscles to be able to run faster. And I am sure I was dissatisfied with the way I looked, and I thought, going to the gym or having a personal trainer would really force me to go to the gym, because, to be honest, I needed that accountability for many years of my life. Exercising wasn't the thing that I would just naturally want to do. I needed the accountability. So I knew that paying somebody to meet me at the gym and make me do the things that I didn't like was super important. So I remember being super committed in my head, like, that's what I want to do. I had no idea what it entitled. Like, I didn't know at the time, like, if it was going to be expensive or not, or what days I will have to be there. I was married, I didn't have children, so technically I had time. Anyways, long story short, I meet the trainer and we go over my goals. She gets me super excited that we can accomplish my goals, that I'm not that far from my target, that yes, I can become defined. And like I had an idea in my head of what that would look like. And I had an image of how I wanted to feel once that goal was accomplished. I was pumped throughout this conversation. And then she tells me how much I was going to have to pay. And there was a silence. And there was a discomfort inside of my body for sure. And my mind told me, yeah, maybe not. Maybe you don't want this so bad. You guys, personal training is expensive, but I spent more on other things for sure. I said to this woman, you know what? I'm going to talk it over with my husband and I'll get back to you. And her response was, you know what other clients have done? They've used a credit card that is only theirs, that their husband is not aware of, and they just commit. And then they pleasantly surprise their husbands when they're looking amazing. And they're like, surprise, I've been doing personal training and I never told you. And that that didn't sit well with me. Like I don't lie to anybody. I'm not in that business of surprising you. Surprise, I spent $3,000. I didn't think that was me, but I didn't say that either. Anyways, I left to think about it. Here's the truth. I never consulted with my husband. Maybe I did a few weeks later where I was like, can you imagine how much personal training is? It's like $3,000. That's insane. And I was framing it to him, this consulting with him was framed to him as though, please agree with me, this is a lot of money. I don't need to spend that money. To which Chris said like, oh yeah, that's expensive. That was all he said. But in my head, I'm like, yeah, he disagreed. I shouldn't be spending this money on that. Okay. I go back to the trainer and I said, you know what, I'm gonna not do it. I just can't afford to do that right now. Here's what I now know about that. One, I use the husband excuse. I need to consult with my husband. Anytime in my head, I was already giving up on something. And I'm going to tell you something very sincerely. I've never once used that excuse when I really, like when I gave myself permission to get that. So if I was buying a nice coat, if I was buying Christmas ornaments, which I am highly addicted to buying Christmas things, not once would I say to the store, hey, just let me consult with my husband. He will clearly say no. And I would clearly not care and just still buy the Christmas things. So in some aspects, I was able to spend the money and not think twice about it and not use the excuse, let me consult with my husband. So it got me so curious to find out what about that personal training session made me say, let me consult with my husband. Same the first time I was going to hire a life coach. I was like, oh my God, this was $5,000. That's a lot of money. I don't know how I'm going to, like me, $5,000 spent on me and my mindset. What if I fail? That was my biggest fear, right? What if I spend this $3,000 on personal training and I look the same 6 months later, 3 months later? That's on me. I wasted my money. Guys, that's what was deeply rooted in any kind of investment towards myself. What if I fail? What if I invested all this money and at the end of the day, I have nothing to show for progress? Tell me that isn't true about that excuse of let me consult with my husband. Deep inside, we're just so hoping he disagrees so that we don't even have to attempt to do the investment in ourselves. But hey, how many of you go to Target and ask your husband first, can I spend $200? You just go and spend it because that level of investment does not require you to measure your progress, does not require you to face the fear of what if I fail and not let yourself not fail. Like investing in ourselves as women, I see it so much, seems to be such a big blockage because we think that we're not worthy of it, because we're afraid of not making that investment be worthy. But if that's towards our children's education, we don't think twice. We're like, yeah, $5,000 seems fair. Let me just pay that. If that was to buy flowers to a friend who was not well, yeah, we wouldn't think twice about spending the $25 versus 10. So I want you to think about this for a moment. If that is your truth too, honestly, I'm walking with my son and I'm like, holy crap, I've used that excuse exclusively to let fear get the best of me and stop me from progress, from growth, from self-growth. Okay, that personal training experience to me was key. I really wanted to run faster. I really wanted to just be stronger and have an accountability partner who would really motivate me to go to the gym. That was good for me. And I chicken out because what if I felt, if I had been fully honest with me, that would have been at the core of it. And I should have invested in that. I should have gone. I should have done the sessions because it was born in my heart. I wanted that. I knew I wanted it. And then when I saw that there was an exchange with money, which by the way, how many of us have an unhealthy relationship with money? We think that spending is terrible because we're so afraid of not having enough. And so when we operate under scarcity, that sense of not enoughness just comes through every aspect of our lives, everything. Hi, friends. I'm interrupting you to personally invite you to join my new Reset Your Mindset 12-week coaching program. It is 12-week to go from fear to courage and finally to take inspired action. We see the world as we are, not as it is. Let that sink in. Working on having a complete mindset reset can help you see things differently, to see things as they really are and not as your mental drama tells you they are. Raise your hand if time after time you have found your mental drama taking over you, your peacefulness with worry, with limiting beliefs, with unexplained fears that keep you not just from your full potential, but also from being genuinely happy. So I don't know you, but I believe life is too short to not be happy. And that's why I've created a 12-week program that can help you learn all the tools to properly learn how to reset your mindset, to go from all those things, that thoughts that make you live life in fear, to feeling courageous, to having mental clarity, to walking away from feeling blocked to being happy and confident. So imagine you're feeling confident in your ability to do things that used to keep you paralyzed in fear. Imagine you trust your inner voice because it is confident instead of full of anxiety. Imagine you're 100% in control over your emotions and thoughts. You have now unlocked your motivation to get things done for real. Your thoughts finally match your dreams and aspirations, not your fears and what ifs. If you are feeling this is a calling for you, if you want to try life coaching for a short period of time with an investment of $1,200 for the 3 months, you get weekly calls with me, you get weekly mindset videos. We start September 13th and we go all the way to mid-December. Sign up and let's finish this year strong. The application link is in the show notes, so head over there, apply, and let's see if you're a good match and get you into this program. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough money. I might not have enough to pay my bills. I cannot spend that. I've spent enough. That lack of abundance just shows up in our life. This is what I have to tell you. The times that I've spent or invested the most financially in me, I've gained the most. Because that exchange, that accountability, oh my God, I gave this person this much money. I'm going to make it work. There is no what if I fail. I am going to make progress because I am going to be consistent at doing the thing that I said I was going to do. So here's what I have to offer you. When you leave the excuse, when you recognize the excuse and you call yourself on your own bullshit, like I don't really need to consult with him. If I had told my husband, oh, I joined a personal trainer, he would have asked me, how much are you paying? He would have had to say something and maybe be happy or not. Oh, well, we would have been fine in the end. And I would have been proud that I've done something. And if I had finished those 3 or 6 months feeling like stronger and happier and looking hotter, promise you he wouldn't have an issue whatsoever. So I want you to stop for a moment and just consider, what excuses are you commonly using and when are you conveniently using them? Is it always like we all have a pattern? So is it always when it comes to investing in yourself? Is it always when it comes to doing something that will take you out of your comfort zone and therefore make you grow? When is it that you're using these excuses, and what can you do about it? Because here's what I'm going to tell you. What's on the other side of letting those excuses behind is massive leaps of growth, and with it, happiness and strength. You feel just so above yourself. It's like a next level of growth. The other big excuse I was always using was, I don't have time. In fact, when my husband got me these personal training sessions for Mother's Day, that was my first thought. When would I fit this in my calendar? Like right now, I have a nice routine. I get up at 6:30. I go down to my garage. I do my workout. I'm out of my workout. You know what else? I don't have anybody looking at my workout. I don't have anybody telling me how to improve it. I'm not accountable to anybody other than myself. So that became my comfort zone. So of course I was using that. I actually told my husband, honestly, I love it, but I don't think I have time for it. And he answered back, hey, if it's about watching the days that you're training, I'm home. You don't worry about it. They'll be in my calendar. And I already paid for them. I was like, shit. So what was stopping me? Once again, that inner voice. Have you trained hard enough? Now you're going to be with a trainer. Could there be any judgment? We're all afraid of judgment. We're all afraid of even like, what's the word I'm looking for? Rising to our own personal best. Like, I feel at my personal best, but I know I can do better. And most certainly having a personal trainer looking at my body posture, giving me a heavier weight, noticing that actually you can move past it. When I came into my session this week, I told her, oh, I've been lifting 20 to 30 pounds. I think that's good. You know what she had me lift by the end of my session? 60 pounds. And I was doing that okay. I wasn't struggling, which means that on my own, I had been very accommodating and not really pushing myself to my potential. Again, I wouldn't have found this out had I not done the uncomfortable thing of saying like, okay, I will invest. I will take the time. I will stay away from my own excuses and find the time. And you know what? Finding the time wasn't impossible. I'm seeing her twice a week. Easy peasy. The other excuse, I haven't used that one as much, but I definitely have. And I definitely hear this one from my clients is I can't, it's selfish to do this. I can't bring my mind to spending that money, that time on something that is not my work or my family. Raise your hand if that's been a thought you've had. I know for a fact becoming a mom challenged that for me a bit because I wanted to spend every awakened moment of my son with him. And then I realized that wasn't sustainable. And was because I do work from home. Not only was I spending all of my hours either in motherhood, the rest of them were in work, creating content for you guys, coaching my clients, analyzing my data, doing my books, all the things that you got to do when you run a business. And I realized that that's how many of my clients had felt for years. Either they were doing, it was all the responsibilities. That's all they were doing. There was very little fun and almost not even an open door to the possibility of doing things for themselves and only by themselves. Tons of guilt will come in. Like I gave you an example at the beginning, somebody's saying, oh, I love your yoga pants, but I couldn't bring myself to spending that kind of money on just me and not my children. Here's what I have to say. Why not? Why not? Why not challenge the thought in your mind that tells you that you are not enough of a good reason to spend time, money, quality, space, breaks, whatever it is from your family and from your responsibilities? Why not? Why are you just dictating that your worth is below something? Think about that for a moment. Why are you doing that to yourself? And what's the cost of you doing that? What is it costing you on a regular basis to say, oh, no, if it's for me, I won't buy the nice item, or I won't invest in coaching. Are you crazy? I did a survey with a variety of people, and one woman said her anxiety consumes her every day. And yet she wouldn't ask for help because she couldn't imagine spending that kind of money on herself only and not her family, that would be selfish. And I asked her, what is it costing you to make that decision on a regular basis? What is it costing your family to have an anxious mom every single day whose life is consumed by it? She was in tears immediately, a lot. Oh my God, ladies, let's not be that. Let's not be that woman, please. Let's be the woman who says, like, it's not selfish to take care of me. It's responsible to do so. That is part of your responsibility. And if guilt shows up, I want you to remember this. Guilt is the absence of gratitude. If there is guilt, you're missing gratitude somewhere. So if you're feeling guilty to spend a certain amount of money to go to a yoga class, to go to the gym, to hire a coach, to hire a personal trainer, whatever the thing is, that it's you time. If you find guilt in that, I want you to turn your mind towards gratitude. Wouldn't it be amazing to feel grateful instead of guilty? And if I want you, if you want to shift that, ask yourself, what am I missing here? What is it that I can be thankful for that I am missing? And instead of feeling guilty, I'm grateful I have the spaces that I have with my family, with my work, because they belong to me. I'm so grateful for those moments. I'm not guilty for those moments. I'm grateful. I get to grow as a human and therefore show up as a better coach, as a better mom, as a better wife. I'm grateful I'm teaching my child how to practice self-care, not just how to care for others. Me taking care of him, me giving him food, cooking for him, spending all of my time with him is only showing him how to take care of others. I also want to show him how to take care of himself. You make your own happiness. And I want so desperately to lead by example to show him that. And that means mom goes to a manicure and a pedicure once a month, 2 hours, gone. Where's mom going? For mom time. Mom is finding her happy. Mom is working on her happy. And for that, we're all grateful. Same with my husband. My husband goes golfing. He goes to play hockey. He has drink with friends. And I explain that to my son. Dad is having fun. Dad is playing. Oh, we don't say daddy, papa. All right. So you're listening to this podcast because of the universe putting you here. I want you to write down your excuses. What are your most commonly used excuses? And what are they preventing you from? What are they really costing you to use these excuses? They become comfortable to share them, but why are you using them? Get to the core. Like I got to the core of like, shit, I'm using this husband excuse only when really I don't believe I'm worthy of the investment. And if I had had that very clear in my mind, I would have challenged myself and be like, what? What am I saying? That I'm not worthy of what? I will never consciously say I'm not worthy of something. So I want you to think of that. Create those excuses, like not create them. Be aware of those excuses and create an action plan to no longer let them trap you. Trust me, what is behind, what happens when we leave the excuses behind? It's pure freedom and blissfulness. You want that in your life. Talk to you guys soon at my next podcast. Bye for now.